the hell am I doing driving a truck? Well, by driving a truck I get to wear a cap and some working boots and some short pants. But with pickup trucks like the Colorado that I'm in now, I could easily be wearing a three-piece suit and some Gucci loafers, because although they are not cars, they have certainly become a softer option than they ever used to be. So I thought we'd take the latest version of the Colorado for a drive to see how user-friendly it can be. We're driving the LTZ specification Colorado, and that's second to top of the range. It's $62,990. That's $5,100 more than an SV6 Commodore Sport Wagon. What are the benefits that driving a truck offer over and above a car? Well, it's largely that. You're over and above a car. So if you pull up at the traffic lights or at a side road, you can see above the car next door to you, unless of course it's another truck. It's powered by a 2.8 litre Duramax turbocharged diesel engine, and it puts out 147 kilowatts of peak power. But because it's a commercial oriented vehicle and it's diesel, torque is of far more importance. In the 6-speed automatic version we're driving, peak torque is 500 newton meters, and that's right up there in terms of class leading torque for this type of vehicle. That allows the tray to be rated for a 1 ton carrying capacity, and the whole vehicle to be rated at 3.5 tons for towing. You can't put a ton of load in the back of a Commodore wagon, and you can't tow 3.5 tons of boat or caravan or what have you on the back of your Commodore either. So for the lifestylers amongst us, these utes are proving hard to beat, and you can't deny they've got great passenger accommodation. The seating is pretty basic, but it's plenty comfortable too. There's heaps of legroom in the back, so you can genuinely get 5 people in here. The interior decor is pleasant enough, but it's pretty basic. There's no soft touch materials, there's hard plastics everywhere you look, little cracks and crevices down here to drop your pastry from your sausage rolls like any good tradie would have at the traffic lights, and I have actually found little bits of pastry in this car from the person in front of me, who was probably another journalist trying to be all rough and tough like I'm trying to be. But it is all hard wearing, and you've got the basics to keep you comfortable and safe. To help ease drivers across the transition from a car to a truck, manufacturers have put more and more gear in them that blurs the lines between the two classes of vehicles. For instance, this one has both front and rear park assist with a rear view camera. It's got lane keep assist, it's got forward collision warning with a head-up display that shines a little red light into the windscreen if you are not applying the brakes when the car in front is. And it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto functionality through the center screen here. Now I'm afraid in this particular car that's not working, so I can't show it to you, but I understand it's very good and essentially mirrors your phone's functionality up onto the screen in the car. A couple other nice features that the LTZ spec Colorado has is automatic wipers with rain sensing on them and automatic headlights. So again, just blurring that line between a car and a truck. So they're doing a good job in trying to entice people into these vehicles with offering more and more safety features and more features that add convenience to the vehicle too. Another important safety consideration for the family purchaser is that the Colorado is now a 5-star NCAP safety rated vehicle. So it gives you peace of mind that if there should be a crash, you're probably going to be not much worse off in this than you would be in a car, and because of that higher ride height you may even be slightly better off. Coming from a commercial vehicle background, of course, it has a few little peculiarities that you may not be used to seeing in your car dashboard. Things like the number of engine hours that it's been running for and the idle time within those engine hours. The funny thing is about these pickup trucks is I find the tray on the back to be one of the least useful features of them. While I might have romantic images of hefting big blocks of concrete or bags of cement into the tray and going off and building a castle somewhere, it's unlikely to happen, as it is for many people who are buying these, because they're not tradies that are buying these chrome bedecked and luxuriously appointed utes. They're family people who want a family vehicle. And when you've got a family vehicle and it's put to family duties, you quickly learn that the tray is a bit of a pain in the backside. For a start, it's not part of the central locking of the vehicle. So to gain access to it or to secure it, you need to use the key. And it's also not part of the alarmed environment of the vehicle. So anything that's back there in the tray is able to be stolen without too much fuss. Now, it's fine to fill up the tray with bags of cement and the occasional kayak and some ladders and sawhorses and stuff. But if you want to carry the groceries, it's a little bit more challenging. Little bits and pieces are going to fly around like nobody's business if they're not somehow secure with some netting or an aftermarket drawer system. So what I'm finding is, even though I've got this massive load lugging ability out the back, I can't really use it. I have to put the shopping and my general running about stuff inside the passenger compartment. That's okay for now because I don't have any passengers with me, but if I had 3 or 4 other people on board, it would be a pain in the butt. Of course, there's the practical issue of having to peel back the tonneau edge and load stuff in either over the top or fold down the quite heavy tailgate. But those things I find you can live with quite easily. And it's part of the vehicle's appeal, I guess, that it makes you kind of harden up a little bit. It's not a car or a vehicle for people who are looking for the super convenient way of doing things. Because if you are after the super convenient way of doing things, you won't buy a pickup truck. You will buy a regular car. But it does lead to a more relaxed frame of mind in driving. And I've got to say, I actually quite like it. One thing I've always got to keep in mind when I'm driving the Colorado is the fact that it doesn't stick to the ground like a car does. It's been largely a wet week while I've had the vehicle, and roundabouts in town here have proved a little bit exciting in some instances. It does tend to break traction at the rear with no weight over the back axle much more readily than a car might be expected to. So you've got to be a bit careful with corner speeds and be ready to just back off the throttle or get ready to catch it if it snaps into oversteer. So that's just something to be aware of, because most car drivers won't be familiar with just how fragile the handling on these things is. See, I just booted it there from a side road, and it wheel spins, and yeah, that's a little bit freaky if you're not wanting it. I'm really pleased these new utes have reversing cameras on them and park assist front and rear, because it's a big bus, a really big bus. It's 5.3 odd meters long, I think, which is a good 300 mils longer than the Commodore wagon. So it takes a bit of positioning to get in the right space. But manufacturers like Holden have made cars like this Colorado much easier to live with over the recent years. Now, if you're thinking of making the jump from car to truck like everybody else is, you should really drive it first. Take the Colorado for a test drive. In fact, click on this video and we'll hook you up with a test drive through your local Holden dealer, and we'll give you a CarNut t-shirt for your trouble. See if it's the right sort of vehicle for you. Chances are it will be, because they do so many things that a family car needs to do, but they do it in a more kind of rudimentary, rugged and kind of knockabout manner. So hit the video, click to drive, and we'll hook you up with a certified CarNut t-shirt and get you into a test drive with the new Holden Colorado.